Hey, welcome to another episode of Behind the Bar podcast. Now, first I'm going to ask you for one favour, and that would be to subscribe to the channels either on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is. Leave us a review as well. Leave us some comments. If you do find the information on here useful and helpful, please give it a share with any of your friends. Give your friends a tag if any of it relates back to them as well. And we obviously don't make any money from this podcast. It is just a bit of a side thing. We just want to share our clients' success stories, the struggles, what they have, the knowledge from our coaches, the knowledge from the other coaches who we bring on as well, just to help you get in shape in the easiest way possible. And we like to break it all down nice and simply for you, and hopefully this will help you on your way. So today's episode, we have client Hev. Hev has been with us a year and 8 months now. She's done both of our in-house programs, our Carnage program, and now onto the Barbell Club program. She's 37, a mom, a business owner, and I think this one's quite relatable in the fact of all the ups and downs of trying every single diet over the last 20 years. I think everybody can relate to these issues, and even now, trying to unpack, say, 20 plus years of bad habits for Hev, she's still in that learning process. But what she has found as well, that she's found a tribe within RT Fitness. She jumped into a community event really early on, and that's that little event where she's made friends, felt welcome, has really cemented why RT Fitness is the place for her to stay. So check out our full story and enjoy.
Yeah.
Right then, who is Hev?
Hev is Lady Magnolia Decorating.
Yes.
The one thing we've got in common is we both have the same business anniversary, the 17th of Feb, but I'm 1 year ahead of you. Mm-hmm. So it was funny at the ball last year when you were celebrating your 10th, I was celebrating my 11th. So,
check you out.
I know, so it's kind of like I was celebrating yours, but it's like, oh, Lady Magnolia. I'm also a mum to a feral 3-year-old. Business, just everything, just hectic, and now avid gym goer.
You're a gym goer?
2 years in July.
Is it?
Yeah.
Someone was asking actually, I think it was Dan this morning, saying, about a year, and I was getting, it's coming up 2 years. Definitely 2 years, but I think it's been a year on barbell.
It'll be June, end of June for barbell.
End of June, sound.
Yeah, it'll be a year. Well, I don't know where the time's going like.
It's gone absolutely amazing because you're having the best time of your life.
I am. I am. It's changed my life.
Good. So, right, what's been your history of training and dieting over the years?
Oh, God.
And were you active as a kid into sports or anything like that?
As a kid, I didn't realise, but I was actually quite anorexic as a kid.
Right, okay.
I know it's quite hard to believe, but I grew up in the pits of Southwick, in the poverty, in the most impoverished area, and the parents didn't work, so I wasn't fed as a kid. I lived on 1 meal a day, unless I was at school, and it was 2 meals a day, you know. And so I was quite skinny, so when it come to food, it was kind of like I would just have to just take whatever was there. And which obviously hasn't helped my relationship with food as an adult, because once I started becoming an adult and moved away from home and food became accessible, it's like, but now my mindset is like, well, shit, if I don't eat all of that, I'm going to starve and I'm not going to have anything later on. And so it's becoming self-aware. As I've got older, it's become self-aware of that problem and starting to stop myself. Like, you're not going to starve. There is food in the cupboards, you know what I mean? Everyone's got Uber Eats these days and that. I never had any weight issues until I hit 17, so this is like 20 years ago now. I started the pill. Right. And hormonal contraception can put weight on you, but I didn't really think about it. And I moved out of my house, moved away from my mum and dad, and the weight went on a little bit, but not like loads, you know what I mean? I wasn't like fat or anything. And I just saw some of the lads when I was in Carillion, this is back when I was an apprentice, made like a jab at me weight or something. I think they sang Big Butts and I Cannot Lie or something when I was walking out the classroom when I was an apprentice, and I thought, oh my God. And you know how fad diets were like the big thing? So like, I think Atkins diet was like massive at the time still. So
Yes,
then I
20
started
years ago,
doing
yeah.
the Atkins diet. And looking back, I swear to God, if I could go back 20 years and just bitch slap myself, you know. And I was weighing myself and I was panicking because I was almost 12 stone. I was like, I'd give anything to be 12 stone now. I was like, you wish you were as fat as you thought you were when you went, you know what I mean? And then, so I did the Atkins diet. And so that was basically, I used to have to get up at 5:15 in the morning to get the, I think, and then I had to leave at 10 to 6 to get down to the galleries at 6 o'clock and then get the 6:10 bus from the galleries and then get into Park Lane and Sunderland and then walk all the way to Florida State. So then I had to make my little lunch up. So I had like this measly, shitty little solid. And I used to have like 2 little bits of toast in the morning and I used to just drink tea. And then when I get home, I used to have like 2 pork chops and that was it. That was my diet.
Right.
Because you only allowed 20 carbs a day. So you wasn't tracking calories or anything. That was all about carbs and you can only have 20 carbs and all this. And I did this for a bit. And the weight was dropping off and I was feeling good. And I think it was one of the only times I've ever been like a size 10. Like I managed to get quite slim. But looking back, it's not sustainable. You can't eat like that, can you? And it's like, you're not eating any fruit. You're not eating any vegetables or anything like that. And then, I wasn't doing it on my own. I was doing it with a class was like my second mum. She was doing it as well. But like when you're in an active job, when you really think about what the calories you would have been on, doing that, it's too low.
Yeah.
Especially when you're walking around all day, because going around Florida State, we were like, I was like an outside painter. So like Suffolk's fascias up and down ladders, up and down scaffolds. And then it was just all the constant walking, so I would have got thousands upon thousands of steps per day, but I wouldn't have known because fit trackers and everything weren't a thing 20 years ago, were they? So did that. Came off it because I was getting bad cramps in the back of my legs in the middle of the night. I used to wake up screaming because the pain would be that bad. And so
is that not enough getting up and down the ladders?
No, it was like, you know, like when you get cramps.
Yeah.
And it was like that. So I came off and some of the weight went back on. I don't know if all of it went back on. Maybe it did, I can't remember. So getting into 2006, went back on the Atkins diet again, lost all the weight again and some, and I think I was getting down to nearly 10.5 stone. And I was feeling great. And then someone just looked, I think I was on the phone and someone I knew back then saw me and went, "You're getting too skinny." And it got into my head and says, "You need to come off this diet again. You've got too skinny." So I came off the diet again. And then years later, the weight comes back on, and then I went to Slimming World, which is another waste.
Yeah.
Couldn't stick out with Slimming World. I've done Weight Watchers. One of the last times, and this was about 10 years ago, one of the last times I managed to get all the weight off again was like meal replacements, the GM plan. So you get like the box, and you've got like your meals, but even in these meals were absolutely tiny. So you had like this tiny little meals and you got bored quickly because there was only like certain things I would like. Some of it wouldn't be all that nice. And then done Weight Watchers, I've done that. And I've done another online, I don't know if can I say his name?
Is anybody's name?
Timar H.
Yeah.
Did that like for a bit.
Calorie tracking. Yeah.
And it was only like through that I learned about like the whole calories in, calories out, and then that started to work. But then, stupid me, I went and got the contraceptive injection.
Okay.
That piled a load of weight on us. Couldn't believe it. Like, I'm talking within days I was going to work and I could not get my overalls on. I started having to get string, and then COVID hit, and then the weight just piled on and on and on. And then by the time I only had the one shot of it, but like by the time it finally came out, started to come out my system, the weight did start to come off because I just could not lose anything no matter what I was doing. And then the weight started coming off and I lost 10 pounds, and I was like, oh yeah, this is like, I'm following, tracking everything I was eating and weighing everything by the gram and all that, and get my steps in, drinking my water. Then I got pregnant. And then put on 4 stone.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah, and then I had a traumatic birth, and then I think after I'd had Ben, so this is like late 2021, I was at the heaviest I'd ever been. And when I was in hospital like nearly 10 days because I had like a severe allergic reaction to the antibiotics they were giving us.
Okay.
And I had this thing called epidural puncture. So when, the woman who was trying to do my epidural actually botched it completely, and I ended up thinking like your worst migraine times about 10 and you can't get rid of it. And my whole body was just covered. I was a mess, an absolute mess. And it took me 9 days. And Ben went home before I did.
Right.
Yeah, that's how much of a mess I was in. And they weighed me in the hospital and went, oh, you're 118 kilograms. But I don't work in kilograms. I didn't really know what that meant.
Yeah.
And I worked it out what it was in pounds, and I just thought, what? You know, like, but you're thinking, well, you've just had a baby, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And then a few months after that, Tony's got this video of me playing pool up in concert. And even though I'm wearing like this black dress, I thought, I've never been that fat in my life. It's just, and then I went back with Team RH, but it's kind of like, you don't get that support because it's like an online thing and there's millions of people who go on it and use it and that. And then, so I got with NutriCheck, which I still use. And I was starting to do things a bit on my own. And I had gone to the gyms. I've gone to a few gyms in my life. The one in Concord where I used to live, it's too far away from me now, but it's like NNJD gyms and things like that. So I've dipped in and out of gyms, but it's like when you walk into like a conventional gym, it's kind of like you're on your own. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. And I did have a personal trainer, but then I could only afford her like once a week maybe. And then she had kids, so she had commitments. So some things had to be.
Yeah.
So it was quite inconsistent. And then of course COVID hit and then all the gyms shut, but McDonald's was allowed to be open, mind. But that was fine above board, but not a gym. And then she moved over to the one in Newcastle, the JD gym over there. So this is back when I still had my motorbike, so I'd go on my motorbike there because motorbikes don't, I don't know if it's changed now, but motorbikes didn't have to pay to go through the Tyne Tunnel.
I think they might have changed.
They've changed it now because of the whole reg plate thing, but back then you didn't have to. So it was better taking the bike than going in my van because it was cheaper. And then she kind of quit, and then of course we all had COVID, and I got pregnant and all that, and then it was just kind of at a loss, and then so I was just trying to diet on my own and just trying to do it on my own, but it's kind of like walking in a fog.
Yeah.
You know, even though I'd learned from Team RH, it's calories in, calories out and all this, and weighing everything by the gram, it was just going through a fog. And with being so busy and then trying to get back into work, well, I had to because can't get any benefits or anything like that, so I've got to go to work, otherwise I don't have anything, you know. Yeah. And then being a mother and how I ended up here was obviously June. It was roughly in the June. So our flat gets really hot. So we've got this big aircon unit, right? And but you've got to put the pipe out the window, and then we've got like this window seal that goes around it.
Yes, yeah.
But Tony, being the plonker that he is, he threw it away, right? And he said, it's fine, we can buy another one from Screwfix. So we ended up here, right outside of your door. I'm sitting in the truck waiting for him because he goes into Screwfix to go get this new window seal. Ben's in the back, obviously Ben would have been one and a bit-ish. And I just looked over and I saw it. I saw you know, all the way it's going and all that. And then I saw your sign and I went, what does that sign even say? Because where I was sitting in the car, I couldn't read it.
Yes,
so I actually got out the car and went and actually read it, and I thought, oh, I like the sound of that.
It's mad, that sign. Actually, people have actually signed up through reading that sign. Who go to Screwfix,
Yeah, and I just like, if it wasn't for going to Screwfix at that time and seeing it and then looking at the weights and thinking, why am I not doing that? You know, like, because I had done some weightlifting before with my personal trainer. So when I used to go to the gym, she'd obviously make me do some cardio stuff, you know, like the skier and things like that. But there was times when I used to go there and she would say, like, what do you want to do? And I'd be pointing more at the weight machines, you know, like, I want to be over there, I want to do that. Because I'm sick of, like, you know, when you do cardio, then obviously you're a bloke, you don't get this problem, but boobs, hair, red face, sweating your tits off. And I just, like, I hate it, and I'd much rather just be like this, you know? And I saw that, and I looked and I'd realised that I must have seen your adverts on Facebook before, because I recognised, you know, where you stand in Durham and you do this, and Durham ladies, and I thought, and I scrolled past it, and then and I looked again, and I kind of put it away, and then looked at it, and I thought, no, it's not going to work. I can't do this. I can't afford it. No, I don't have time, and all this, and then the fear, you know, like the fear of failure, thinking, no, it's fine. I'm just going to have to be fat for life, and eventually I did sign up, and then Sarah did phone us. I was actually on the way to my mum's at the time when she called, and then I had to get out the car, and then the signal was a bit shit, so I had to walk around this car trying to get the signal to sort of Sarah. And I would have been the barbell first, but Sarah was like, well, why don't you not just start Carnage? Because there is strength training in Carnage, so she talked me into that. And I remember when I first walked in, and I was like, you know, like the nerves, I'm thinking, oh, what have I done? You know, it's always like, oh, what the fuck am I signed up to, and what's going on here? And I don't know if it was my first day or my second day, but you were there dancing around going, hi, Hev, and I'm like, how does he know my name?
Well,
like,
I think, I mean, we do try and get to know people prior and stuff like that. I don't know if you might have, did I do like a seminar on the Sunday before you started? Did you interact with that in the Facebook group maybe?
oh, I got no idea.
No.
Because it's just so
Who
long
met you
ago.
on your first day?
It would have been Matty.
Was it May, was it?
Yeah, I got paired up with Faye, but she doesn't come here now.
Yes, yeah, fair, yeah.
So I was with her, and then she was trying to I was trying to keep up with everyone because we were on like the rowing machine. So I thought, well, I've used rowing machines loads in the past. I know what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
So Carnage is kind of like, well, I know these things. And then when I got the burpees, I was like, I fucking hate burpees. Right? Oh, that's another thing. So many years ago, there's another company like yourself in Washington.
Right.
And when they first started, they were in a field right behind my flat.
Okay.
And you used to be able to go, so they would be like 6 o'clock or 6:30, and you used to go and you'd give them £4, and then it was like a boot camp.
Yeah.
So you were jumping in and out of tyres like this, and boxing and things like that. It was very much Carnage, but I think it was harder than Carnage because I remember like I stopped going because it was making us sick. Physically sick, and I'm not one for getting sick, and I just thought, no, I can't. And then of course it's sunny and it's bright and I can't see where I'm going, and I can't wear sunglasses, and if I do wear my sunglasses they would steam up, and so I stopped doing that. And then what were we talking about?
Just you when you first came in.
Okay, first came to Carnage. So yeah, I was getting into it, and then I swear to God, this must have been within my first week. So of course I think, well, I've got to get a decent sports bra here, and then get my hair out my face because my hair pisses me off all the time. And then we were doing jumping jacks. My bra flew open.
Nice.
But luckily I wear t-shirts on top of them, so that went flying open. So I literally ran to the toilet to sort my bra out, and I'm coming back, and then Matty's like, you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. And then we're on the rowing machines, and I must have just knackered myself too much, and I went to get off, and my legs went to jelly, and I fell into the bloke next to me. I was like,
So cracking first week, eh?
yeah. So a lot of fuck-ups.
Do you know what it is? Like all your journey there, what you've just said, like all the ups and downs with the weights.
Oh, it's just this. But you got to think, like, because obviously I'm the same age as Sarah, but like, you know, in the 90s and the noughties, fad diets were the thing, and thinness was like the one thing to look at. There was no body positivity. There wasn't like, you couldn't just be like a healthy weight. You had to be like uber thin, you know, like Chris Evans weighing Victoria Beckham on the scales on the telly. You know, you've seen that. It's just
no, I can imagine.
There's a lot of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Body shaming.
Right. Okay.
It's not like fat shaming, because fat shaming is different. I would say more like body shaming. You know,
but
like
it was always magazine diets then.
Yeah, and when you're growing up,
don't even know what a magazine is.
I didn't struggle with my weight as a child. So that in the 90s, it wasn't. If I saw skinny women in the magazine, it wasn't the thing that I thought, because I wasn't fat or anything. But it was only when you become a teenager and the way it's going on, and you're like, and everyone's like, it was just, I think it was difficult back in the 90s as well, and even in the noughties, it was a lot more difficult to track calories because you didn't have apps, you didn't have things like that, and it wasn't spoke about. So if you wanted to lose weight, you were stuck in that cycle of diet clubs, which are designed to keep you there.
They are indeed.
So.
Yeah, it's mad, because I think a lot of people can resonate with that, of like, because loads of people your age, above your age, everyone's done all of the diets, what you've said.
They've done everything.
All of the joining in the gym.
You name the diet, I've probably done it.
It is, everybody, like, it's mad because they do that, and now, like, I mean, I know I'm going to be asking you about, but it's like, but now the education is at the forefront, and people do know calories in versus calories out, and it's like, no matter what the diet is, that's the only way it can work.
Exactly.
So, right, question number 2. Like, you're a mum and a business owner, like, how do you fit it in, and why?
I think it's because it's, you know, when you feel like lethargic and tired, and obviously I'm in a physical job, and after I had Ben, I did have some back issues. Like, even sitting was hurting. There was like, I had this weird pain, but as I've lost a little bit of weight off that pain's now gone. And the sciatica as well, that could get quite painful. And it's kind of like, when you're a parent and you work full time, you've got to be in beast mode all the time. So you need your body to stay at that fitness level, you know, and you've got to be strong.
Yeah.
Because my it's called a Merca, but it's like a sander, you know, and that can get pretty heavy, and you've got to carry your stuff up and down people's staircases and things like that. You've got to have that fitness and that strength to pull, you know, big IKEA bags of dust sheets out the car and your Merca and your stuff, and then my Purdy bag probably weighs more than, I don't know, probably. It's probably heavier than Sarah.
Yeah.
And I've got to get that on my back, and I'm like,
So what, like, how do you fit it in then to your life, like with all this?
well, it was difficult because I used to do evenings, but then, as you know, that caused a lot of conflict with Tony. Yeah, paddle, which he plays every feckin' night, and now that has started to become a little bit of a problem in itself, because the only slot he's been able to get is like quite late. So like last night he did 9 till 10.
Wow.
You know, and tonight he's doing 8:30 until 10. But because we haven't got Ben, and obviously with the weather starting to get a bit better, every time we think it gets better, it was snowing this morning. We actually plan to walk up the paddle.
Okay.
Because we haven't got Ben, so we can do that. So I know I'm going to get a lot of steps tonight. And I got a new.
Oh, check you out.
Yeah, so I got that. I know. I saw it in Boots, and I saw it was like 140, and I thought, I'll have that. So, because my Apple Watch, the battery's just ridiculous now. It's just like you can't, when you're having to like charge it like twice a day.
Wow.
So so evening slots were becoming a bit of a problem, because obviously he was twisting on. Even before paddle, he was twisting on that he's getting left to look after Ben and all that. And I think he was obviously, because he wants to lose weight himself, but he couldn't come to something like this because he's got this thing called Keen box.
Yeah.
So a bone has actually died in his wrist and dissolved, and there's no way to fix that. It's actually quite a rare disease. Eventually he's going to have something like pinned in it. So if for him to lift weights or like do anything like this, he just wouldn't be able to do it because of the pain in his wrist. It would be too much. But with paddle, at least he can alternate, you know.
Yeah.
And then I didn't want to do morning slots because the idea of being here for 6 o'clock horrified me at first. I thought there's just no way. And then the other thing as well, I thought there's no fucking way I'm coming here for 6 o'clock in the morning, because I'll be way too tired. It's too dark, it's too cold. And then I thought, well, Tony leaves for work at about 7 o'clock. So I think, well, I'm probably not going to be, even though I only live 5 minutes down the road in the car, like literally just down the hill, I thought he's probably still going to twist on that I'm not back in time for him to then go to work and to get to Langley Park for 7:30. But it has actually worked. So just eventually, I just says, because when the conflict was like this, was like, I think I just started barbell, and I said, shall I do this? Because he's like, why can't you do it at 6 o'clock? And I said, it's just because you go to work for 7. I don't get out there until 7 o'clock. And then I thought like the time slots for the morning, especially barbell, because with carnage it doesn't really matter, does it? But with barbell, you've got a time slot, haven't you? And I thought, I'm never going to get a slot. And so that was like excuse number 3. 1, I didn't want to wake up. 2, Tony will twist on that he can't get to work. And then 3, I'm not even going to get a slot. And then I remember saying it to Sarah, and it was not even a week later.
Yeah.
She said, it's there if you want it. And I thought, fuck yes, give. And I've actually found what's strange is I don't recognise myself anymore, because 1, I am getting up at 5:15 in the morning, force myself out of bed, and I'm in the bathroom and I'm like, I don't want to go, and I'm half asleep pulling God knows what else on it. And I'm like, I don't want to go, setting up my coffee and everything to get here, and it's worked out.
Yeah.
It's like, it's took so long to go, right, if I do it there, it doesn't conflict, there's no conflict anywhere else, because he's not playing paddle at that time. Ben's still asleep. It's like, it's the perfect time for me to do it. It's 7. Because I can't do 7 because obviously he's at work and we've got it's the child. So if I lived alone, say I wasn't with Tony, I mean, it wouldn't have mattered. If I didn't have kids, I would have gone with a 7 o'clock one. Not a 6, you know what I mean? But it's
that little lie-in. It's
taken this long, and I've actually found what's mad is, since I've moved to a really early morning slot, 6 o'clock, I actually attend a lot more.
Yeah.
Because with carnage, I don't know what the fuck was going on last year, but I was getting a cold every single month. Right. And when you're doing carnage, when you've got a sore throat and a cough and a headache and a bad nose and everything that comes with a cold, the carnage is impossible.
Well, you do, yeah. I mean, even if you get a cold, you don't want to come into the gym.
It's bad, isn't it? And then, doing burpees with a sore throat, and And but even with barbell, like if I'm like, because I know, was it last week or the week before, I had bad guts. I don't know if it was something I ate, but I was just like on the toilet. So I thought I better not go in.
It happens.
Yeah, and then I think I did come down with a bit of a cold or something. I was sore throat, and I just thought, and and I was like coughing in the night. I wasn't sleeping, so I thought I'm not going in if I'm not been sleeping.
Yeah. So you've made it fit, basically.
I've made it. It's somehow works out. And I was like, I can't. It's like you said to Matty in a podcast as well. You don't regret coming in. You only regret not going in.
You only regret the work.
So
that you missed.
it's got to a point. It's like I've gone from like not really liking the gym and finding it difficult to motivate myself to come into. Like if I know I'm going to miss a session or I'm not going to make it in the morning, it's like I'm pissed off for the rest of the day. Really, at myself,
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, because once you've missed, haven't you? And it's like,
I know.
fuck. And we're super cool.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah, I think you've already said, like, what was the moment, like, you thought, right, this is it? That was just pulling up a screw fix when I said.
Pulling up a screw fix, yeah.
But what would you say the thought process was of, like, where you thought, like, fuck, I do need to do something, like, within about that time?
I can't really remember, to be honest, because I think it was just because I'd been going to the gym before.
Yeah, like doing loads of different various
Yeah,
stuff.
and then it all just died away, and I just thought and I didn't know things like this existed, because you're not like JD gym, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like your sessions, you're with people, you're being coached. Someone's actually checking in on you every week. It's like it's so different. It's like especially when I got to learn. Like how this works, and got to know people and start making friends. It's like, where the fuck's this been? Why have I not known that something like this existed? It's like, I said that to Sarah, like, I think it was the first Carnage Games, and she did that video, and I was like,
yeah,
what the fuck have I been doing? Like, how did I not find this before?
Yeah. Well, me adverts mustn't have hit hard enough because you were just scrolling past
them. I know.
I use these fuckers again.
I know.
Sound. So as you know, we teach the blueprint of things, training time 3 to 4 per week, 10,000 steps, tracking your food, ensuring protein goals. What's been the biggest struggle with all of that?
I would say the two things is getting the steps in, because obviously I'm in a physical job, so I'm on the go all day, but that doesn't quite necessarily show up on a Fitbit.
Yes.
And so
because the thing is, you are moving.
Yeah.
That's the thing, you are physically moving, but like say sometimes you'd be stood there with one arm, and it's probably your watch is on your left hand, yeah?
Yeah.
And you're right-handed?
I'm both.
Are you both? Okay.
But mainly
yeah.
is, but I can switch to left.
So it's like, even though you are active, the crazy thing is though, you like 10,000 steps is just a form of movement. So you're probably already hitting like your movement across the day.
So that's annoying, because obviously you, Dan, and that day, you're just looking at an app.
That data, yes, yeah.
And you're not seeing what I'm doing all day, really, and it's not showing up. So a lot of people obviously work in offices and they're just sat down all day. So obviously they do need to get more than 10,000 steps. But if I'm stripping wallpaper all day and then straight away cross-lining and wallpapering, and that takes strength in your upper arms when you're bashing the wallpaper against the wall and the scrapers so there is some strength to it,
Oh, yeah, I know there is.
Constantly going up and down, especially my last job. It's like, where the fuck's my masking tape? Oh, it's upstairs. Fuck's sakes. And then you've got to go up the stairs again and come down. Where's my scraper? Because I've got ADHD, and it's like, where's my scraper gone now? That's upstairs as well. Fuck's sakes, back upstairs again.
Drink your coffee. Your lovely black coffee. It's cold now as well. She loves it, really.
I don't.
So it's been like, so the steps and the tracking the food, the protein, is that, how's that been?
Tracking as well, because obviously, a lot of people use MyFitnessPal, but it's just shit.
Right, okay.
And I learnt that through, because obviously at the time, TMRH, you would have to log your food on MyFitnessPal for it to sync in with them.
Okay.
And it's quite American based.
Right.
And if you read something and then it's not on the app, it's wrong, because you had to track protein and fibre, and a lot of the time you'd find the fibre was missing.
Yes.
Well, the protein's missing, and it's kind of like, well, if you've got a protein goal every day, like obviously with here, your protein goal is 128 grams a day, but I've had to I like to get scrambled eggs on toast at Tesco in the mornings. That's if I've got a day off and I've dropped Ben off at nursery, and then I can go get something to eat. But I can log that. But obviously there's going to be protein because in the eggs, but that doesn't show up on the app.
Yeah.
So then it looks like I'm not hitting my protein when I am, and I am hitting like fibre and things like that, but it's not showing because a lot of the things that you track, it's hit and miss if the information's there, and if it's not there, it's that ball ache of having to sit and trying to find the information and trying to do it, and it's just...
So it's friction.
There's a lot of friction. It shouldn't be there. You know what I mean? Like when these entries are on NutriCheck and things like that, say like, I don't know, say you went to Nando's. I mean, Nando's is good because they do have the protein on it, right? But where is it that doesn't?
There's plenty of them not doing.
There's loads. I mean, I know the Cozy Club's on there. And say like I had like a chicken dish at the Cozy Club, the protein's missing.
Yeah.
And that could have easily been 50 grams of protein, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Easy. And then I'll have, it used to be like, Sarah, why are you not hitting your protein? Well, I did.
I'm just eating out. And all of these places don't have it.
I know. It's like, and if you go somewhere independent, because like me and Tony, we're going to Tia's tonight, because obviously we haven't got Ben. And I like my chicken fajitas there. But Tia's is not on NutriCheck.
And the thing is, though, like, I think the tracking, like even our app, it's good for all of the stuff what you say have in the house. It's never going to be that like all of the apps are never going to be that great for when you're eating
when you're like out and when you're on the go.
Yeah,
when you're someone that's on the go. Yeah.
But I think that is one of the troubles. So like, say for me, like I'll eat a lot in the house and it's generally the same foods. Yeah. So then once that meal's saved,
which I've copied a lot.
Yeah, that's where the friction. That's where it becomes frictionless. But if I was to like, I ate out 3 days last week.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not tracking at this moment in time.
We didn't know. I think we had it once last week. So it's not like all the time. It used to be a lot, but now it's like it's died completely right down because can't track it.
No. And that's the thing. And if I try to track those 3, they'd be way off. I mean, generally, if I'll do it, like where did I go last week? You commented on it. It was one of the meat places. Oh,
Esbulo, I can't pronounce it. We've only been there
where
once.
you get the meat and the green and red card. That, I mean, all I would have done there is put a quick ad, and I know how much I like, but I know sort of the ins and outs of food, and I know it would have been like.
Well, you're a professional, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You're trained in all of this, so I'm not. You know what I mean? I've just got to wing it.
And I would have easily put I'd probably say like 1,300 calories easy that meal, but I know it would have been 100 grams of protein plus because of obviously all of the meat.
It was so annoying about because I've said this in the wild. It's like if I was in charge of the country, you know, like fast food restaurants and things like that, I'd shut them all down.
But you still go to them.
I know. No, but the thing is, what I would do, you know, like because obviously I don't really go to McDonald's or anything like that. I'd shut them down. You know what I mean? All them
like
ones.
Super fast food.
Yeah, the super fast food ones, they'd fucking go, right? But like places like restaurants, you know, like you got your Wagamamas and things like that. But the restrictions would be no meal is allowed to be more than 600 calories.
But then this comes down to choice.
I know, and then I'll probably get called a fascist and all that. And
really, it's like I get it. I get the whole premise of that, but it's like I think it still comes down to human choice and. It is so easy accessible.
But the thing is, there's too much choice. It's like what you said. You've said it yourself. Like with Uber Eats, I'd close all of that down and all. But then,
is it on your phone?
Yeah.
We get it off them. Well, if you like, if you want to close these things down, you're part of the problem.
I know. But I used to have more.
Right.
But there's only Uber Eats there now. Everything else has been deleted. But it's
Just
like.
Eat gone?
Oh yeah, that's long gone. Yeah, I haven't had that for years. But Tony's still got all that on his phone. He's got Deliveroo and Just Eat and God knows what else. But it's like, and then even like Nando's can have an app, you know. But it doesn't really make too much of a difference because even 20 years ago, you still had the leaflets and you could still phone up. Yeah. So all that's happened is it's turned into app format, hasn't it? But it's like I'd be ruthless. I would just close them because there's far too many takeaways.
Yeah.
Kebab shops, pizzas,
people
chips.
Use them. People use them. It's a convenience thing, and then but it does all boil down to like your choice. And what I always find with just general people, to be fair, this isn't clients, it's people going, well, I had a takeaway, like I couldn't be asked to cook, but they waited for 40 minutes for that takeaway to come. What can you cook in 40 minutes? I could batch cook my entire week in 40 minutes.
That's depending if you've got no kids in the house and things like that, you know, like, because obviously...
No, that's what cages are for.
I've always said that. The other thing about a cage as well, not only a cage, but if you couldn't get a cage, like a toddler-sized straitjacket.
Yes, yeah.
You know? Because if you've got a separate kitchen, you could put a baby gate on, then you could have that space,
Yes,
you know, to do it. But where we live, the kitchen is the front room.
Right, okay.
So we haven't got that separation.
Yeah.
And the kitchen's small as well. It depends on people. Some people have got bigger kitchens. Some people have got like tiny little box rooms for a kitchen, and it just varies. So, and then people are obviously tired. You know, I get it. There's been times me and Tony's done that a lot because we're knackered.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to work a bit less, because if I'm working full time and obviously I've got Ben and then there's all the housework, the laundry, the dishwasher and all that, I cannot cook, I can't. But what I've started getting, and I've told a few people about these meals, is Sainsbury's do this thing, it's called Bone Tasty. And it's a little meal box. They do a green Thai curry one, there's a chili con carne, chicken tikka and chicken korma. There's 4. And it serves 4 people, and I've got one of them little veg cutters, so I can quickly cut the veg up and everything, and you can cook that meal so I had to buy a bigger pan, and you can do it all in this one pan, and then I let it cool down, and I've got these little plastic zippy bags,
right, yeah.
And I portion them out. So at the moment I've got green Thai curry in the fridge that I can just get out and then put in the pan and heat up.
Yeah.
So, but it's getting that, and it's finding that time as well, the meal prep. That you've got also child-free.
But there is like for me, like, I mean, I've got my meal prep sorted, you know me, take your chicken.
Which the first time I ever tried it, and I followed everything to the T, and I blew my fucking mouth off. So you do realise,
I like spice.
Oh no, I don't do spicy. I have found another one that's mild, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I haven't done the chicken tikka in ages, actually. I need to do that again. But what the thing is with the NutriCheck, getting back to the tracking as well, is in the meal prep, if you can find, because obviously you have actually been a big help for me, because the meals that you do, there's barely any ingredients to it, and they're extra quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's for someone who's a busy parent, a full-time working parent, we can't be buying cookery books that have 40 ingredients for one thing that take 2 hours to cook. It's just not feasible. It's just not real life, you know, and you need the things that are super fast. And then what I've actually managed to do as well, it's like, say the chicken tikka, what I've done on NutriCheck is I've actually pre-saved a lot of these meals. Yeah. And then, what I've tried to do is I've tried to weigh it all as a bulk, and I know like I need 353 grams in that bag, 350. So I know I get more accurate as I can. Yeah. So like when I'm tracking it, I know how many grams it's technically going to be, and so I've been batch cooking a lot of them and getting them in the freezer, and like the wraps at the moment, I've got the protein pitta. Things, and then doing the tuna mayonnaise, because then that's fast in the morning, and getting that, and that can be tracked. But I'm not faffing on and getting annoyed that something's missing in NutriCheck, because I've already made it as a meal and saved them as meals. And that's been the only way that I've actually now finally started to stay on plan a bit. It's even right down to my coffee here. It's called on the app. It's called RT Coffee. Okay. Because I know it's basically a splash of milk. It's a spoonful of that sweetener, and I'll come in and I just have to stick that underneath the coffee machine, and that's it. Okay. And that's me for RT coffee. Even my scrambled eggs is logged. I've switched from lattes to tea, because tea's obviously less calories. Yeah. But all of that isn't even the coffee machine. So I've had to work out how much milk our coffee machine gives us in a latte, and it's 200 ml.
Fucking hell, okay.
So some of them do that, but all that's logged. So it's like, I know how many calories, if I put an espresso on, I can log that, so I know exactly how many calories that's going to be.
So you've created it to be less friction now?
I have, but that's only really been in the last 6 months.
But it takes time. It
takes forever.
It does take time, and and it's hard to get out of those habits. Like you probably heard me and Matty talk about habits loads,
Oh,
and it is
no.
trying to get out of those habits, and it is a slow process, and it is like seeing my app. It is like I've saved every meal I've pretty much ate, because then if I do ever have it again, it's like they're ready for us.
Yeah.
To make it frictionless when I do track. Obviously, like I'm not tracking at the minute, but it's.
I saw that.
But yeah, I mean that's a different story. But it's yeah, I don't have to, but I will be soon. When I do like a micro 4-week diet, I'll be showing you what I'm doing.
Oh yeah, I think I only saw that video this morning.
Within the group.
Because you're going to
did you?
Yeah.
So what's the biggest wins you've had with the time with us?
Biggest whinge?
Yes, biggest wins you've had.
Oh,
actually, no, I'll
whinge.
tell you what. No, actually,
I thought you said whinge, you mean wins.
no. You can probably say that within this bit here. Like obviously, like we're not just a gym, quick fix,
No.
solution. A solution what's just going to happen in 90 days, like within the fitness realm. We always say like people join for the results, but stay for the community. But it was one of your first. How many weeks was it you were here? I think it was probably the second week when you jumped into a community event.
Yes.
It was only a couple of weeks in, wasn't it? Or
It
like-
was literally, it was a month.
It was a month in, yeah.
I started very early July in the heat. What an idiot. Carnage when it's like 35 degrees. And it was the Carnage games, and obviously that's still my profile picture. You know,
Oh, from there, yeah.
Because I'm looking like that, you know, in the picture, and I've got obviously the thing on and that, and I remember I was starting to get a sore throat. I was already starting to come down with something already, but I was just like full on beast mode, and it was just all that adrenaline was kicking in, and then it was obviously Dan, the other Dan.
Yeah, Dan Brain, yeah.
Who won that egg and spoon race in the end, because he literally leaped, and it was just that. When we got the trophy, and it was just that whole group celebration, and all the food that, you know, like because Emily does the cakes and stuff like that, and I don't think I really knew her at the time, and I think I found out at the last Christmas party that it was actually Kieran's bowl. He had like a big bowl and he piled a load of crisps in it, and I knocked into it and smashed it on the floor.
Okay.
So yeah, and but yeah, and then it's just. The Carnage games was gas, but we've been losing every single year because Southwick's clearly cheating. You know what I mean?
No.
And I missed the last Carnage games because of my back, because I've done my back in with the deadlift. So I was even though my back's fine now, I don't have any niggles. My back's completely fine. But at the time, I thought I can't risk it because my back's absolutely killing.
Do you think though that like because like we always want people to do the community events.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that's helped? Like, where you jumped, I mean, you like took a big leap. Like, it must have been a bit scary to like jump into a community event. But do you think that helped you like think like this was right for you, like jumping into one of those community events?
Yeah, it didn't take long for me to realise and I'm where I'm supposed to be. And then when we had the Christmas party as well, and getting pictures with you and Sarah, and then we had the ball and things like that. And then I think I've done 2 Carnage games. I've never done any strong events, but that's only because I've got a bit of anxiety now around my back, you know, the deadlifts and things like that. And I didn't do the walk because I had a back spasm. I know that was horrendous. And I panicked. I thought, what if I had another back spasm on that long walk? But I'm going to do the one that's coming up.
Yeah.
I'm definitely doing that. All I need.
You can stop off places, can't you? Because it's just round Durham.
Yeah, so I was thinking if it's nearer, you know what I mean? So like if anything was to happen, it's not like I'm miles away, you know what I mean? So it's like, all I need is painkillers and some water and a decent pair of shoes. Because I saw what happened to Sarah's foot now, and I'm so pleased I didn't come on that one.
Yeah, it was a tough one, that one.
Oh God, yeah. It's funny because obviously originally everybody just wants to lose weight, don't they, first? And then you get into something like this, and then you kind of realise that the weight loss is kind of just like a byproduct of what you're doing. It's not actually, it doesn't become the focus anymore, because you're only being fat phobic to yourself in the end. And it's like, as long as you're getting fitter and stronger, and so to be able to do what you need to do, then the weight's not too much of an issue. It's like, yes, I lost weight, and then I went off the rails and put it back on a little bit. But it's now since I've been with the barbell, the barbell's changed my mindset again because I'm surrounded by people who are doing the shred. And now I want to be on the shred. And I've asked Dan loads, and he keeps ignoring my messages. But I was like, I want to be on the shred for April, mind.
Is this you asking me now?
Yeah, I asked you.
I'll have to ask Dan why.
I'm getting round on third. Oh no, there was actually a reason that I thought they might have held it up. Okay. You, Sarah, and Dan did a podcast on it.
Okay.
It was the Monjaro.
Oh, okay, right.
I took 2 pens.
All right, okay.
Yeah, but it wasn't me thinking, I'm looking for a quick fix here. The curiosity just got the better of us.
Right.
So I took it, and I've had no side effects with it or anything like that. I'm not on it now.
Yeah.
I only took about 2 pens because you're supposed to move up the doses.
Yeah.
And in the end, I was thinking, well, they're just going to get more and more expensive. Yes, it was working and it was helping us lose a few more pounds, but at the end of the day, if it's the cost of it, and then
what was the cost of it? Because I'm clueless to it.
I got discounts on the first pen. I think the first pen was 118 quid, and then the second one was 143.
And is that like for a monthly dose?
Yeah, but the more you go up the doses, the more expensive it gets.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really going to say anything because of the whole stigma behind it, but I'm not on them now. But I can see why people are on them because it does work.
Yeah.
But a lot of I'm in these communities on Facebook where they're taking it, and it's just horrifying. Knowing what I know now about, like calories in, calories out, and strength training and things like that, and like how to lose weight, changing your mindset, changing your habits, and things like that. There's obviously too many people on Facebook. There was one woman, and I screenshot of the comments. She says, "If I eat more than 500 calories a day, I put weight on." And they're not going to the gym. They're all getting vomiting and diarrhea, because that was my view of weight loss jabs. Like a couple of years ago, I thought, why would you want to take something that's just making you sick?
Yeah.
And obviously this Monjaro was a lot different, and I had no side effects with it, like none. And but it's like, I don't know. Like part of me was thinking, why? It's like all I want to do was, does it actually work? And yeah, it does. It does turn off that food noise a lot of people have, because how people's appetites are different, aren't they? So
of course, yeah.
And that's the weight loss jabs taught me that. Is just that what it is my appetite's obviously a lot bigger than someone who's like my sister's naturally lean. So it's like our appetites are obviously different, and it takes me a lot more to be full.
Yeah.
So I can eat bigger portions of things and not be full, and that's where the problem is. If you can get that down, and it's all about your mindset, and I think it's more self-awareness as well. That's what this was only in January, and so it was like 8 weeks in total, and it kind of like it taught me it's kind of like, imagine you go around blind and you needed a pair of glasses, but you always thought the world was blurry, but then someone gives you a pair of glasses and you're like, oh, this is how other people see, and it's like you finally get them glasses on, you go, and then. But it's like I'm not into eating sweets and chocolate and things like anyway. I can walk past anything like that. But it's like,
just make sure it's still on.
It's still on.
Just in case.
But it's scary how available it is. And I was agreeing with you when you did that podcast. I was completely agreeing with you, like how it's too easy to get hold of, and I don't think it should be available the way it is. And so obviously naturally...
We were quite neutral. We were quite neutral on it. We had our opinions. We weren't like horrible on it, but I get you within these groups, because I see like, I must have clicked on a reel, and now the reels followers, and it is how pro these people are. Yeah. And like, just as though it's like such a normal thing of like, yeah, I've done this and I've done this, and it's like you're talking about like
they're not learning anything.
A drug, and like I know there are different steroids to that, but for all these people on weight loss jabs would have an opinion on people who take steroids.
Exactly, I know.
People on steroids are just getting to get bigger. People on weight loss jabs are just getting to get smaller.
Yeah.
And it's like.
But you mentioned there was bodybuilders taking it.
No, I don't actually know that. We had the fear of bodybuilders, say, taking it when they're getting show ready, because obviously that's going to suppress their appetite, so it's going to get them to lose weight faster as well, which could be an issue. I'm not in the bodybuilding world.
No, I've got a cousin who is.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I haven't a clue with that, but it is mad how it is so accessible and so fucking...
But it's the price of it as well, and it's kind of like, for me...
That's going to come down though, you know.
Is it?
It will.
It's like, it was a moral thing. I only did it, and I did tell Dan I was taking it, and when I told him, his face, you'd thought I told him I was leaving the gym and never coming back. His face just dropped.
Yeah.
And I said, it's not like I'm not after a quick fix.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I know how to diet, but I do struggle with my appetite and being hungry. And when you're hungry, you know, and when you try to diet, your body naturally fights back against you trying to diet and tries to make you put weight back on. And it's taking that self-awareness to understand, okay, right, my body's doing this is what's happening. I'm not going to lose my shit because now I know the crack.
Yes, yeah.
Where a lot of people take these weight loss jobs, are just, you know, they want to be on it for the rest of their lives. And
you're lifting weights, you're eating your protein as well. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if, say, someone was to do it properly, that's how you would do it.
But a lot of them taking it, they're not going in the gym.
I know. Like, I honestly, just before I came here, actually, I seen somebody's like, this is what I eat on Manjaro, and it was jacket potato and beans and cheese.
It makes you full.
And then it was a slice of toast, and then it was something else, and he's good, and that's all I have in it. Like, I totaled it up, it must have been across this day 40 grams of protein, and it was like, we need to up that level.
And then they're getting hair loss as well.
Let's see what happens, isn't it?
I know. For me, morally,
there's a lot of,
and of course, obviously, obviously the biggest thing with me morally, I'm thinking, I'm still in that mindset of is it cheating at the end of the day, and then again, it's like, if I was to continue it and I went out did on the shred, would that not be cheating? It wouldn't be morally right.
It would be for us.
It wouldn't be morally right, and the cost of it as well. Of course, you know, obviously with what I pay to come here every month.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't. If it's a choice between the weight loss jobs and coming here, I don't care if I'm not losing weight here. I'm going to choose here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's go on.
Good. I mean, it's nice to hear it, actually, to be fair.
Because Sarah did say she wanted to speak to someone who was on it. And I think I was still...
Did you just go, I'm a fucking test dummy, let's go.
and I was like, and I was going to say something to you, so I was going to tell you, but I was like, oh no, I'm probably going to get kicked out of the gym.
Why would we do that?
I know, I was just that fear, and I thought, no, they'll boot me out.
I think, as a gym owner and a coach, and as all of us as coaches, what we do understand now is the rise of it, and it is going to be, there is going to be more people who actually join the gym who are on it, because it's so socially ingrained now. It's like, become like that instantly, of obviously the way people are talking about it as well. Because
people do struggle, because obviously naturally, like I've said, I've struggled with my weight now for 20 years. Yeah. It's an appetite thing. Because you did say to Sarah, you know, like Sarah's like, no, Dan said to Sarah, you're not greedy, you know, you haven't got a big appetite. So she she naturally doesn't have a big appetite, where I do naturally have a big appetite. So yes, as much as the rule is calories in, calories out, but I hate to compare myself, because Sarah's amazing, you know, I love her to bits, and I do look up to her, you know, gym mum, you know, gym dad, and I do love her. It's kind of like, if to put us in the same lane, my lane's a lot harder compared to her, because for her it's natural to not overeat.
She doesn't have, Sarah doesn't have just that, she can stop.
Yeah.
But she can eat. She can eat, but but then she can go honestly, she could go 18 hours sometimes. It's like, if you ate, oh no, I'll get something now. And it's mad. But I'm the same as you, from when I was younger. I mean, you said you weren't fed.
I wasn't fed.
I was overly fed, but I was super active, so I was quite lean. But every meal was always make sure you have 2 slices of bread with your fish fingers, chips and beans. And you have to eat the lot.
Yeah, that's another thing that has fucked us up, because, you know, you're only a couple of years, you're only 3 years older than me, aren't you?
No, I'm younger than you.
Well, I'm only 21.
Exactly, I'm not.
It's kind of like... I know. I've aged through having a child. And it's like, eat everything, you know, you weren't allowed to get up unless you ate everything off the plate. And that's fucked us up as kids, like, you know, because because Ben is such a massive fussy eater, trying to get him to eat anything is an absolute pain in the arse. You know, like he only likes to have pizzas and party rings and buttons and you'll have
beige food,
pasta, and it's like, and you're trying to get him to eat something else. And if you take him out,
he's
I think you mentioned before about Castor being a fussy eater, and it's so fucking annoying, isn't it? And it's like you're trying to get him to eat nice stuff, but when they're not eating, then my parent instinct must be, from a parent's point of view, is shit. He hasn't ate anything. He's going to be hungry.
Yeah, he might as well have the biscuits.
But then. So, like, have you heard of Grounded Kitchen in the Metro Centre?
Yes.
Beautiful food.
I'm sure you put something on the other day.
I do.
Yeah,
I put on my heavy lifting Instagram account.
Yeah.
So I try to put more gym things over there and try to keep me Lady Magnolia stuff to decorate and stuff. But it's like you can track that, and the protein's quite decent in their meals, where Tony wants to go to Five Guys, which is just a load of shit. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to eat the shit. I'm trying to be better, but Ben obviously sat with me the other day in Grounded Kitchen because, you know, he just wanted to be with me, not his dad. And I got him like a little chicken wrap, and he's just pulling at the cheese and the bread, and you're like, oh. But then at the same time, you don't want to tell him off and make him feel bad, because then that could cause an eating disorder in him. And I don't want him to go through what I went through, where he's like being forced into finishing licking his plate, basically.
It is, like, because me and you pretty similar there. It's like obviously where I've got taught all that as well. Like, make sure you eat everything, or you don't get your dessert. But But
I didn't even have that. It was another case of not only you had to finish your plate, but if you didn't eat all of this, you were going to go even longer, less food and longer, because especially in school holidays, there was no food. There was nothing, and I had to learn how to starve and just learn to just put up with basically fasting when you think about it.
And then later on in life, it's like now food is abundance. When you said like 17, it's like, well, I can have more food now. I've got money now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And
starting to work, starting it. And I was living in a different house where there was food in that house.
Exactly.
So, and then starting the pill, which didn't help.
But it all adds up, and it's mad because, like, obviously coming back to the kids, it's like when I think to mine, it's like, should I be forcing them to eat like it all? And then it's like, and because it's still the same of, like, say the one and I saw afterwards, well, did you eat all the dinner? But then it's like, well, if they didn't say eat all the dinner and they did want, I don't know, like a dessert or something afterwards, it's like, well, is that not better that they didn't finish the dinner and still had the dessert, rather than every time finishing the dinner and having the dessert? Do you get it?
But you've got older boys, haven't you? So they must be better at eating now.
They eat better than what they did when they were kids. Obviously, all three of them were great when they were babies. Like, we were mushing up everything for them and that. And then all three of them have gone through the phase of, like, beigey, shitty foods, like, and not wanting to eat the vegetables and stuff.
And wasting money on them when you're going out.
That's always a big one. It's like the same, like, we'll go to Nando's, try Castor with, say, a chicken burger and chips or something.
And it ends up on the floor.
Well, he ends up just eating the chips. Do you know what I mean?
See,
it's Ben
doesn't even like chips. Don't even know if he's mine.
Might not be.
No, he looks exactly like me. But it's like Castor looks exactly like Sarah.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he's an absolute spit. Like, my middle one looks most like me. Jake looks nothing like it. All three of them, if they walked past, you wouldn't probably think any of them were me.
Well, you had one of them when I saw you in Tesco. When you come bump through, you got a habit of shocking us.
Dexter, that's the one who most looks like us.
Yeah. I didn't. Well, obviously, I didn't get a good look because he had his head down. And
he's the one who most looks like us.
Yeah.
Right, last one.
Anyway.
If you were to coach someone starting out, what's the advice you would give to them about the journey they are about to embark on and how to help them succeed long term?
Someone who's not a coach.
No, but this is, I always think this is a good, so basically, do you know, I know I'm not on the app with you, but sometimes when people have, like, I'm doing this, and I just say, if this was your friend and you had to coach them on what to do, what would you do? What would you say to them? And then they come back with the answer.
I think it's not to overwhelm them. So it'd be like, don't worry if you can't do it. I'm not here to judge. Because, I mean, obviously you and Sarah don't do this. You're fantastic that way. But, you know, there's other online fitness influencers, diet coaches out there who do shame. If you're not doing this, you're just making excuses. Well, you know, you find that they're probably child free, their job is fitness, it's easier for them, and it's like they don't understand people who've got kids and have to work full time and do all the housework and everything. And that's another thing I took friction down wise. I got a cleaner. I think we've still got the same cleaner, haven't we? I think.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's took a bit down, but I would say, like, what steps do you get a day? Like, Tony is fucking pathetic. I mean, obviously I've got a fit. He sits down all day,
She
right?
loves you.
I do, yeah. But I do, honestly. But it's like, obviously still with the Apple Watch, I was able to compare my steps compared to his. And he'd be sitting on, like, not even 3,000 a day. And like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? It's fucking now. But you get people who all sit down and they're in an office job and things like that. And it's like, well, can you get the 5,000?
Yeah.
And then see, it's got to be slow, because someone like me, I mean, I'm a very slow learner, as you can tell. Like, it takes me a very long time to understand things. And
There's slower people than you.
Yeah, it was where things start to click in, and I'm 37 years old, and it's still only starting to click a little. Things here and there, the things are starting to fall into place only just now. Food-wise, if you're in a position where you can't afford to buy all these different things, you know, just find, I don't know, it's like, think about what you're eating and maybe half of that instead. You know, like, say, like, you want for, I don't know, getting a curry, and maybe instead of eating it, eat half of it and save the rest of it tomorrow. So then you're having half the calories. It's like that Little Britain sketch, is it? Because it's half the calories, you can have twice as much. You know, like from Fat Fighters on Little Britain. It'd be like half in your portion sizes, and it'd be just being a bit more aware, because the more you start to track things, the more you start to have your eyes open about what's in calories. It's like I don't eat doner kebabs, but I treated myself to one a few weeks ago, and it was only in a small carton. And I weighed it on the scales, because obviously if I'm on my own and I've got that time, I put that on the scales.
Yeah.
Well, how many calories did you think I ate?
A portion of kebab, mate. Did you have chips or garlic or anything?
There was a garlic dip with it.
And just meat or?
Just the meat and the garlic dip.
Just the meat and the garlic
dip.
dip.
And I tracked it. And I could.
1,800?
It was about 1,200. And I didn't eat that much.
What did it weigh? Do you know?
Oh, I can't remember.
All right.
Couldn't even tell you.
Because I would say, like, if you're getting a kebab from a pizza shop, and it's I'm not, like you're saying, a medium-sized portion.
Yeah, it was about that, because Nutritech do have like a Section 4 takeaways that you know, like not branded, so like a genetic, fucking Chinese genetic kebabs, pizzas, things like that, and that's what I love about Nutritech as well. You've always got that option to weigh the food, where MyFitnessPal didn't.
Yeah.
And the information would always be fucking wrong as well. Where this one's a lot more accurate, and I could have just sat and cried, and it's like, what a fucking idiot. It's like what Dan said in the podcast as well. It's like you treat your calories as money, and it's like I've wasted not only financial money but calorie money on this small stupid kebab.
Yeah.
And it's just like this thing is like it's amazing how you can fly through your calories so fast without realizing and not knowing. But getting back to trying to coach somebody.
So basically, like take
your time.
Take your time with it. Up your steps gradually. Half your food where you can, and probably understand that you're going to spend your calories fast if you don't know what's in your food. Yeah.
Try to not eat out so much and try to eat at home where you can weigh your food a bit more.
Yeah. Perfect.
And that'll be it. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you very much.
All right.
Come on, yeah.